Jay, since you're on, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good morning, JD.
Good morning. Am I low? Am I high? Don't ask. Don't answer if I'm high. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want you to know my dogs are in daycare, so you wouldn't have to hear them this morning. Their morning time is their favorite time to just bark at everything. So.
Uh-oh.
Jay, how are you enjoying retired life?
Oh, just starting. This is the way I'm going to enjoy, I guess. You know, like
Yeah.
it hasn't sunk in me yet. So
I give it some time.
Yes. Especially you're joining me, you know, like I feel part of Collin College. So still,
yes.
I'll be a part of it all the time. But okay.
I hope those of you who need coffee have coffee, so you're not hating me for having coffee. Look at that guy.
Yeah, terrible. That's not going to happen in my session. So if you want to have it, this is the time.
Are you doing breathing? Yeah, you can't do the breathing with coffee.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our very first session. My name is Pearlie Lubin, and I'll be the moderator for this session. And now we'll turn it over to Jay and team for time to de-stress.
All right. Jay, did you want to say anything before I get started?
You can introduce yourself and then start.
Okay. My name is JD Isip. I'm a professor over at Collin College, and I do mindfulness practices with my students, and most of the time with our mindfulness committee. So what I'm going to have us do today are a couple of mindful journaling practices to kind of give you something to use with students, but also hopefully something that you can use on your own. So if you want to ask a question or anything like that, you can use the little hand button or leave something in the chat and I'll try to get to it. But I believe I only have 15 minutes. So usually this would take about 20 minutes or so, but you use the time that you have, right? So the first journaling exercise that I wanted to have us do has to do with you being at a conference today. So if you don't have a journal, maybe just grab something to write with or grab your phone and you type something in for that. These are usually pretty quick exercises that I do when I do them with students. And this morning, I'm going to ask you to write something. And usually when I do it with students, so something to keep in mind, if you try this with students in the morning, it's really great in the morning to kind of like focus them. But the speed at which all of us write is not the speed at which the students write. So you might want to give them a little bit more time, or this morning I'm going to have you start with a list of 5 things. You might want to cut that down to 3 things, considering how students write and that sort of thing. So usually I would start with just a couple of deep breaths, but we're not going to do that yet. What I want you to do to start out with is just make a list of 3 to 5 things that you could or should be doing instead of being at this conference. All right, 3 or 5 things that you're like, man, I need to get this done. I got to go put air in my tires. I got to do all that stuff. 3 to 5 things. Just write them down. First thing on your mind. I'm sure you've got 10. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you 1 more minute. All right. So if you haven't finished, that's fine. We can expand the list as we go. But I want to talk about this as a practice in being present, right? So mindfulness practices at their core are about bringing us to the present moment. And so we made a choice to be here at this conference, right? And in a bigger sense, when we're in front of a classroom or when we're at dinner with friends, right? We've made a choice to be at that place. And oftentimes we have to clear the deck so that we can really focus on the thing in front of us. So take a look at your list and either write it down in your journal or just tell yourself, I can't take care of any of these things while I'm here, right? I made the choice to be here. And this is something that really brings it home to students, right? You made the choice to get up this morning and be in class and might as well make the most of it. So the next piece that I'm going to have you do is now we're going to take our deep breaths, right? So we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths. I'm going to talk while you're taking those deep breaths. Deep breaths are something to kind of center us and remind us of our physical presence. And while you take these deep breaths, so let me give you an example. For those of you who have never done like a deep breathing exercise, as you're breathing in, you're thinking about that breath going in and out of your body, right? And you're really focusing on the physical of that breath, right? And that's why I'm going to talk while you're doing this, okay? So just take a couple of breaths. And as you're breathing, I'm going to talk about what I want you to do with this list, right? So as I said, first remind yourself that you can't take care of any of these things while you're here, right? And then start to determine, why are you here, right? Maybe your school paid for it. Maybe you have to do this, right? Maybe you're really interested in what people are going to be presenting on. Whatever the case may be, you're here, right? And so you start putting aside the things that you can't take care of and think of, what can you do while you're here right now? So the second part of this, when you're ready, is to make another list right below that list of 3 to 5 things that you can do while you're participating in this conference to get the most out of it, right? And maybe that is something like start a conversation with someone they don't know, right? go to a panel that doesn't sound like something I would usually be interested in. Whatever it is, right? 3 to 5 things that you can do to get the most out of this moment. And again, as you're writing that down, think of how this would work for students, right? What are 3 to 5 things that you can do today, even if you don't want to be in English literature today, that will help you out, right? That you can get the most out of. So again, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do this. So go ahead and make that list. About 1 more minute. All right. So now you have your list. Hopefully it's something that can guide you through while you're here at the conference or at home participating in the conference. And again, hopefully this is something that you can take into your practice with your students. Again, a lot of people think of mindfulness as something that is too out there or a little too maybe spiritual or something like that for students, but it's really a kind of practical way to particularly at the beginning of the day, to start your day. So my final 5 minutes that I have, am I doing okay on time? I've got 5 minutes, right? Okay. So for this final 5 minutes, the most popular and really useful practice of mindful journaling is called keeping a gratitude journal, right? And all a gratitude journal does is it reminds us to switch our focus, right? And so it's not magical thinking, right? I have a friend, Josh, who Jay knows, he talks about a lot of people think of mindfulness as magical thinking or trying to put a silver lining on things that don't really have a silver lining. This is not that. This is saying, okay, maybe things might be bad. Maybe I just got out of a snowstorm here in Texas. But what are things that I can be grateful for in this moment, right? So for the next 2 to 3 minutes, if you could just make a quick list, new page, right? A new page, 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for at this moment. And they can be simple. I'm grateful for my dogs. I'm grateful for having a job. Or they can be bigger, right? I'm grateful I survived X, or I'm grateful I got through this, whatever it is, right? 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for at this moment. I'll give you 2 minutes. And give you one more minute. All right. So hopefully what I want you to get out of this gratitude journal and gratitude journaling in general is getting up or going to sleep at night, how we can change our day by refocusing on the things that we're grateful for, by refocusing on the things that give us promise or purpose, right? So again, it's not forgetting all the things that are on our plate, but refocusing on the good to make it a better day, right? So with that, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I know that we have another exercise coming right up. So have a great day and have a great conference.
Thank you, JD. The two things that was top of my list for grateful for was first that you were able to join me in this presentation. You know, like I was thinking I was the only one to do it, you know, such a short one. I was looking for somebody, and you know, you just came up just like that. In spite of missing your dog, you know, like you were able to come here today. I appreciate that. And the other one is, you know, I've been on the TexTESOL board for so many years, and such a blessing and honor and privilege for me to have served on this board so long with such wonderful board members. So the two top one came on my list. So thank you so much. Do I come in the big picture or do I share? So they can see me.
Oh, you can get started. You're fine, Jey.
Okay.
We can see you, Jey.
You can see me in a oh, okay. I see me. Okay, good. Okay, good morning, and I thank you all for getting up so early on a cold Saturday morning and joining us, which shows that, you know, you want to have some kind of self-care. You want to care for yourself and kind of having a very calm and peaceful mind. I'm welcoming you to also to join me in the breathing. It looks like the breathing is going to be a thread in this whole all three sessions. It sounds silly to invite somebody to breathe with you. It is certainly silly, but then what I mean by that, you know, like to focus on the process of breathing, which will help you to focus, be mindful, and relax, de-stress, okay? So the one that I'm going to talk about today is there are different types of pranayama, but I'm going to talk about a quite popular, uncommon breathing technique. So pranayama is a Sanskrit word made of two words. Pran means life force, which is the breath, and ayama means, you know, like the movement or directing your breath. So before I want to start, you know, like I want you to maybe close your eyes for half a second or something, and, you know, just observe how you're breathing. Don't force it, just observe how you're breathing. Okay, so you realize how deep it is going, right? So most of the time when we breathe, what happens is we are breathing from the chest very shallowly, but the breath is supposed to come from your gut. That deep it has to come. So you're going to feel it that way once we finish at the end of the session, you know, like when you breathe again, normally you'll see how deep it goes, okay? So again, there are different types of pranayama, and then, you know, like this is a very simple one, and which is a common one I'm going to share with you. So in order to practice, I made a few slides, but I don't want to waste time on those kinds of things to show, you know, like this is, you know, breathing is a very common fundamental thing for us to exist. So the reason why we are breathing is to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. the more oxygen you intake and more carbon dioxide you exhale is helpful to you. But if your breathing is very shallow, you have only a little bit of oxygen inside and more of the carbon dioxide still inside the circulation system. So the organs are not getting enough oxygen, okay, to pump up. So, so in order to do this, like we just go right deep into that, all you need is, of course, you need your nose and, like you need a thumb and a ring finger. Thumb and a ring finger. Can you hear me? Oh, can you, am I clear? Okay. So people do with the different, maybe some people may try with the index finger or middle finger or the thumb, the little finger or something. But I think maybe because of the kind of, like the distance we're doing it, it's easy to do like that. Okay. So that's why I go back and forth. So we're using a thumb and the ring finger, yes. So when we do that, like you see the depression in on both sides of the nose, okay? You're slightly pressing it in a way that the air doesn't escape. You're not hurting yourself, you're not pinching yourself, nothing. And especially you're not twisting your nose because we need the nose for the rest of the conference. So you don't twist them or you don't hurt them, but just kind of, like you can just practice, you're not breathing anything, but just kind of, like press it. And then you're alternating this one and this one and this one. So the nose stays the same. So you're just only pressing enough so the air doesn't escape, okay? But it's normal tendencies when you do this, you are twisting like this. Okay, don't do that. Leave the nose as it is, okay? Just kind of, like that's all you need, little bit. So how we are going to do this is when we start, I'm going to close the right nostril and I'm going to inhale through my left nostril, okay? And then, like I'm going to close the left nostril and exhale and inhale the same nostril. So only the first one is you're closing and you're inhaling through the left. Once you close the left nostril, both the exhaling, inhaling is going to be through the same nostril. Is it clear? Okay, you understand, and as I'm doing it, like it is important to understand how to do it, because if you do it wrong, again, like nothing will happen, but you may not be able to breathe well. So it's quite important. So I'm going to close my right nostril, okay, and I'm going to inhale through my left. Close it, exhale. Inhale. Close it. Exhale. Inhale. Close it. Exhale. So it goes. It is automatic. When you exhale through something, you have to inhale through something else, right? So it goes like that, except the first one. Okay. Do you understand? Is it clear or? Okay, good. Okay. You're free to kind of, ask me questions and, like really let me know if it's important. I need to answer immediately. So take your time. If something goes wrong, like just take your hand off and then, like relax and breathe both the nostrils. Okay. So here, okay, let's start. Okay, let's do a couple of them and see whether you're comfortable. You're going to close the right nostril, inhale through the left. I'm going to close this one so that you can see me, okay? Close it, inhale through the left. Close it, exhale through the right. Inhale. Close it, exhale. Inhale. Close it, exhale. Okay, so one more thing, like again, if you have a tissue or something, as you do that, you're at home, so the nose might make a lot of noises and things because it's clearing up. And if you have cold, sinus, or some kind of allergies, it's difficult to breathe that deep. So do as much as you can do. If you cannot do it, just do the practice. And then once you're better, you can follow it later at home, okay? And another thing is that, like that you have to do it very slowly. There's no competition. And all of us cannot inhale and exhale at the same length, because the more you practice, you can see that you can inhale in a deeper level. Because you're beginning, it may not happen that way. So don't kind of force yourself to do something which you cannot do, because that is not going to make you happy in doing this. And as a result, you may not be happy to follow this at home, okay? So the important point right now is being in love with doing this so that you're anxious and you're excited to go home and then doing it, okay? Is there any questions so far? You can unmute yourself and ask me. And I remember teaching this in one of the sessions at Collin College, and then one of the students had only one passage. He didn't have the other passage completely blocked to some surgery or something like that. So kind of, like after some time, I was concerned how to teach this guy. But after some time, he found me in the kind of, the atrium kind of thing, and came running and asking, Professor Jey, you know something? I'm so happy I learned from you and I could breathe better. So with one nostril passage is kind of, like he practiced. I don't know how he did, but it really helps students really enjoy doing it, really calms them down. And I do with my students, like in between classes or beginning of the classes, and especially with the same students sitting in my class, back and forth the same classes, we do that. We just count in different languages, and at least minimum we do 10 of them. So students really enjoy. Okay. If you don't have any questions, shall we practice? Okay. 5 of them, okay, if you cannot do 5, I'm just saying 5 just to kind of time to stop it. But if you want to do less than that, you cannot do more than that, 3 is fine, 4 is fine, or 2 is fine. Just, yeah. A question? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to close the right nostril. Okay, right nostril. Inhale through the left. Slowly and steadily, close it. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale. Close it. Exhale. 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 You take your hand off. Now observe how close your eyes and observe how you are breathing normally. Do you see the difference from what you observed at the beginning and now? It is much deeper, right? You see, you feel like as if you exercised your body, but your breathing, you exercise, and it goes so deep. So when you practice day after day, you know what happens? Your normal breathing would be like this, not making noise or not kind of exhausted, but normal breathing will go deep into your system, not the shallow breathing. That's why when you get stressed out, if you observe, your breathing is only the top part. Like that, breathing, because you're not able to breathe deep because you're stressed out. So if you practice this, like even when you get stressed out, you can slow down and then relax and you can stop doing this. So again, you have to be careful when you're breathing. If you're having any respiratory problems or something, basically take your time to heal and then do it. And again, do not teach others if they are too young or too sick or something like that, because that's why this is the first time, 2 conferences I've done, I do online, but school, I refuse to do Zoom. I like to see people in person because somebody will be twisting the nose and they'll be panting and things like this. It is really difficult to, for that what happened, they not only not breathing well, they're harming themselves. So it's important. And again, this is kind of exercise that, this is a very important self-care exercise that you should practice. So whenever possible, so kind of, take your time to do it. Maybe start in the morning, maybe 3 or 5 you can do in the morning and maybe 5 in the evening. And if you're comfortable, then do again, maybe in the afternoon where the energy level goes down. And again, do not do any of these things, driving the car or anywhere else when you're not comfortable. Another important thing, where we are moving on to breathing meditation, like we're going to do. And this is also a very good exercise for meditation, because, when you're concentrating on your breath, you're focusing, following the breath, going in and going out like this. You cannot think of anything else. So when you do that, even the 2-3 minutes, your mind is not thinking anything else. And as JD mentioned, being in the present, and then, the 2-3 minutes, you're not having any stress, not thinking about anything. It calms you down. So slowly practice. And the important thing I want to tell you is that, you like it, you should love it. And then, so go slow. If you do it very fast and then finally don't end up in not doing it at all, is worse than, doing less number, but doing consistently and being in love with that kind of practice. Okay, again, I appreciate any important questions you have. I'll be here throughout the conference. You can ask me, and I'll be happy to answer the question. I thought I might have more minutes left over, so I could teach you one more. If for the end of the breathing, if it's the meditation done early, we can do maybe some other time. So thank you all so much, and appreciate you're taking the time to care for yourself. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to, the next session is given by, let me share the screen. I know, looking at this, I think of Sarah. So she looks like, this is, the next person is Rynbrant. He's a professor of political science at Collin College. And he is a long-time practitioner of yoga and different types of yoga and meditation. And he could not be here today, so he was kind enough to share this video with us. So he said, I want teachers to kind of, benefit from this. So all you have to do is follow his instruction and then do along this video, okay? So I'm going to start this. So there it is. Where do I? Where is the, where am I? How do I make it bigger? I just want to make it bigger. I don't see the ice here.
We can see it, Jey.
You can see it fully?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't hear it on our side, Jey.
Which one?
We can't hear it.
Oh. How do I can hear it here. Does anyone know that how to, I actually think I see it's on.
I think it's under video settings, under your video.
Setting?
I think it's under video settings. Is that right, y'all?
Yeah. Yes. Hold on a second. I can also get it for you.
Okay.
Let's see if you can do it now.
Oh,
being
yeah.
at peace with whatever's going on.
Perfect.
Okay, there you go.
So it's different than
Yeah.
other meditations you may have heard of. It's not one of those meditations where you focus on a particular word or a symbol
Let me start from the beginning so you know who he is.
to the exclusion of everything else.
Jey, if you hit the bottom right corner, it should open up on the screen even larger.
Yeah, that's
Hi
what I-
everyone, my name is Rynbrant. I'm a professor of political science here at Collin, but I've also been teaching yoga and meditation for about 10 years. Today I want to lead you through a brief mindfulness meditation. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness practices are where you practice being fully present with whatever's going on around you, within you, mentally, emotionally, physically, and practice being at peace with whatever's going on. So it's different than other meditations you may have heard of. It's not one of those meditations where you focus on a particular word or a symbol to the exclusion of everything else. It's also not one of those meditations where you imagine yourself someplace different, more relaxing, more peaceful to try to escape the present moment. Mindfulness is about being where you are and being okay with where you are. And so I'm going to lead you through a brief mindfulness breathing meditation. There are lots of mindfulness practices. There are yoga, Tai Chi, different meditations. This is kind of the most basic type of meditation practice. So it's very simple, but it's also not easy. So let's start with the simple part. The practice itself is very simple. You close your eyes, you start to focus on your breath, and you try to maintain that focus and that awareness of your breath throughout your meditation. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's simple, but the hard part is your brain doesn't want that to happen. Your brain constantly wants to think about the past and the future, thinking about things that happened yesterday or last week, or worrying about things that are coming up in the coming weeks. It wants to think about things. And so there are constant distractions in your mind, but there are also distractions in your body. So you may get an itch or you may get an ache in your body, and that may take your awareness away from the breath. So there's this constant pull away from that simple connection with the breath, and that's what makes it so challenging. So we're going to walk through a very brief meditation. So I'm going to ask you first to get yourself set up. The most important thing is that you have a straight spine. So you can do that sitting in a chair like I am, or you can sit on the floor up against a wall, or you can sit on the floor cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. You could even do this lying down, but that's not recommended if you're just starting because people tend to fall asleep when they're lying down. So please find a comfortable position and then close your eyes and start to notice your breath. First, we're just going to observe the breath, not judging it, not trying to change it, just observing it. If you're a little stressed or anxious, that breath may be up in the chest, it may be rapid or choppy. So we're going to try to slow it down, smooth it out. We'll do that by drawing the breath deeper into the belly. So slow, deep inhales where you can feel the belly rise and you can feel it fall back towards the spine. Take a few of these deep, slow breaths. Then we'll do a progressive relaxation from the crown of the head down to the feet. So starting at the crown of the head, feel a wave of relaxation moving down from the crown of the head, down through the forehead. Let go any tension between the eyebrows. Relax your cheeks and your jaw. Let go of any tension in the throat. Let your shoulders hang loose and heavy. Relax down through your arms, your hands. Make sure you're not clenching your fists. Relax down through the chest and the belly. Let go any tension in the back. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees. Let go any tension in the calves and the shins, the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, all the way down through the toes. Now return your awareness to the breath and simply notice the rising and falling of the belly, and try to maintain awareness of that throughout the coming minutes of silence. So I'll stop talking for a few minutes. Your job is to simply maintain awareness of the breath. And when distractions come, that's okay. Your job is just to acknowledge them, let them go, and return your awareness to the breath. From time to time, you might scan the body again from the crown of the head, down through the body, down to the toes, letting go any tension that might have built up in the last few minutes. And then return your awareness to the breath. And from time to time, check in, see if your mind has wandered to other things. If it has, that's okay. Just let it go and return your awareness to the breath. And we'll slowly start coming out of the meditation. You might start by bringing some movement back to the body, wiggling the fingers, the toes. And slowly open your eyes and smile. So how did that feel? For some of you, that might have been very challenging. Your mind might have been racing, your emotions might have come up, and it may have been very difficult to keep your attention on the breath. For others, it may have been very relaxing and peaceful. It's different for every person, and it's different every time. Understand that your experience of it this time may be very different the next time that you try it. But I encourage you to try it again. It is a practice, meaning that you may get some benefit from sitting down once and meditating. You might get a little bit of relaxation. But the benefits of the practice really happen with repeated effort, by trying it over and over. There's lots of scientific research on mindfulness meditation, and it's very good for a lot of things. So things like memory and focus, things like dealing with stress, even with chronic pain. It's great for all kinds of physical issues. So I encourage you to continue to practice and to remember that it's a mindfulness practice, not a mindfulness perfect. So you may struggle sometimes, it may be very difficult, but don't beat yourself up. Keep coming back to it, keep trying, and you'll feel those benefits over time. So I hope this was a good experience for you. And if you have more interest in mindfulness meditation, I encourage you to explore our Canvas course. Thank you for sitting with me.
Thank you. That was a good one. Thank you. Good job for Ryan. Yeah. That's all we have for this session. And again, I sincerely appreciate you all coming here to practice with us. And as Ryan mentioned about sitting straight and doing the meditation, same thing for breathing, pranayama too. Like you cannot crookedly sit because your spine has to be straight so that you can breathe better. For all these things, I think for a few minutes. So if you have any questions, kind of be free to text me or whatever it is, talk to me during the conference. So I'll be happy to help you. And I sincerely appreciate all of you to get up so early in the morning to join us. And then I want every one of you to have a wonderful 2023 TexTESOL 5 conference. Thank you so much. Thank you, JD, again. Thank you very much. Polly, you have something to say? You're fine, otherwise, it's fine.
No, though, this is the end. Someone asked a question about Canvas. That is from...
Yeah, the Canvas is for Collin College. So you have to be a student or a faculty member of Collin College. That's where he stored his video. That's where I took it from. So you cannot access that Canvas course. I'm so sorry. Okay. But this will be available. The recording will be available for next 3 months. So you can always access it and then practice it.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Pearlie, for moderating, and thank you all. See you all in one of the sessions at least. Bye.
Jay and JD, I saw a question in the Q&A about how we can get administrators on board with these practices, and y'all mentioned you're part of a mindfulness committee on your campus. If you want to share more about that now, or share more about it in the
I don't
think great.
I don't know whether anybody else from outside Collin College can be part of the mindfulness committee. So this is for like a school committee, that kind of thing. So I've retired, so I don't think. I can go and ask them. I can be part of it, and then I can do this. So yeah, that's.
Is that something you would suggest people try to create at their own campuses? Is that something y'all created?
They can do that, but then they have
College?
to kind of, so I have been doing pranayama, and then, some committee members learned something a little bit, and then they kind of improved upon it. And then, they started giving, we give a Mind Hack Symposium every semester to students. And we thought this semester to put these things in the Cougar Web or Canvas or something so students can do on their own. But I didn't put mine because I'm concerned about teaching online. So that's what JD was part of it, and then Ryan is part of it, like that. There's other person who teach yoga and heart math and things like that. So they're different things. Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing there. And if people are interested in doing more like that, maybe they could reach out to you.
Yes.
For advice.
That's what you're doing the conference too. I don't know, is there a specific place or something like that I can join in and do something more. So, but anyway, I'm happy so many joined, and very nice, very nice. Thank you.
It's a great session. Thank you.
Okay, so good job, Sarah. And then we're looking for all your work. Good work.
It's going to be a great day.
Good. Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful day. Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Chastity.